Hey, welcome back to Real Talk English. I'm Sarah, and if you're new here, genuinely no pressure, just relax and listen. This is a place where English sounds like a conversation between friends, not a lecture.
And I'm Mike. I just got back from a walk. My mind is actually clear for once, and I have strong feelings about today's topic, so this should be fun.
He always says strong feelings. It usually means he's going to say something that makes me pause and stare at the wall for a second.
That's the goal. Controlled confusion. It means you're thinking.
Before we get into it, quick thing, if this podcast helps you practice real English, the kind you actually hear in conversations, not just textbooks, please subscribe, share it with one person who's learning, and leave us a comment. It keeps us going. Okay, let's talk.
So, Sarah, question. When was the last time someone asked you what you do for work and your answer felt completely honest?
Ooh, that's already uncomfortable and we're 2 minutes in.
Perfect, because today's topic is exactly that discomfort. We're talking about jobs versus business, employment versus entrepreneurship, and more importantly, why so many people feel stuck somewhere in between.
This topic comes up constantly in real English conversations, at dinner, in interviews, on first dates, weirdly enough.
So, what do you do? 4 words, enormous weight.
Because it's never just about the job, it's about identity, direction, whether you feel like your life is moving somewhere or just repeating.
And that's what we want to explore today. Not just the vocabulary around jobs and business, but the real thoughts people have that they usually keep quiet.
Let's start with employment. And I want to be fair here, because I think the internet has made having a job sound like giving up.
Which is genuinely unfair.
Very. A job gives you something underrated, a framework. You know your hours, you know your responsibilities, you know when the money arrives.
And that predictability is not weakness, that's design. Some people function best inside clear structure, and there's no shame in that.
In English, we use phrases like steady income, job security, fixed schedule. These aren't boring phrases. They're the language of stability, and stability is what allows people to take care of their families, make long-term plans, actually rest.
Rest, wildly underrated concept.
But, and this is where it gets real, stability and fulfillment are not the same thing.
Say that louder.
Stability and fulfillment are not the same thing. You can be completely secure and completely empty at the same time.
I've met people like that. Steady job, good salary, dead eyes.
And I've met people with no savings, building something from nothing, and they are lit up from the inside.
So the question isn't just, does this job pay me? It's, does this work mean something to me?
Okay, let's talk about business. And let's be equally honest here, because the internet has also made entrepreneurship look like freedom and beach laptops.
Instagram Lives, that's the episode title.
The reality of running a business is that you trade one set of problems for a completely different set of problems. You're not free from difficulty. You're just choosing which difficulty you'd rather deal with.
In a job, someone tells you what problem to solve. In a business, you have to find the problem, figure out how to solve it, find people who want it solved, and then actually solve it, repeatedly.
And do all of that with money you may not have yet.
Right. So when people say, I want to start a business for freedom, I always ask, freedom from what exactly?
Because if the answer is freedom from my boss, that's not a business plan. That's an emotion.
Emotions are valid. They're just not strategies.
Good businesses start with a real problem someone has, not with someone wanting to escape a situation they're uncomfortable in.
That said, discomfort can be the first signal. The feeling of this isn't right for me is data. The mistake is acting on that feeling without a plan.
Here's what I find really interesting. Most people who say they want to start a business never do, and most people who say they love their job are lying, at least partly.
So everyone's performing a little.
A little, and the reason people stay stuck in jobs they've outgrown or in the idea of a business they never start is almost always the same thing.
Fear wearing a very respectable disguise.
Exactly. It shows up as, I'm not ready yet, or I need to save more first, or maybe next year.
Next year is where dreams go to wait forever.
In English, we call this analysis paralysis, when you overthink so long that no decision ever gets made.
And the comfort of the familiar situation, even a bad one, often feels safer than the uncertainty of a new one.
Because at least with familiar pain, you know what shape it is.
Whereas new possibilities come with unknown risks, and the brain doesn't love unknown.
So people negotiate with themselves. I'll stay one more year. Let me get this promotion first, once the kids are older.
And suddenly, it's been 7 years.
Let's talk about the mental difference between someone in an employee mindset and someone in an ownership mindset, because you can have either in any situation.
Yes, you can be employed and think like an owner, and you can run a business and still think like an employee.
The employee mindset asks, what do I need to do today?
The ownership mindset asks what needs to exist that doesn't yet.
One is reactive, the other is generative.
And here's the uncomfortable part. The ownership mindset is exhausting. You never fully clock out. The business lives in your head at 11 p.m.
But the employee mindset has its own exhaustion, the frustration of seeing what could be improved and having no power to change it.
So both paths have a cost. The question is which cost aligns with who you actually are.
And this is something people skip. They ask which path is better instead of which path is better for me.
Those are very different questions with very different answers.
Let's bring this back to real English, because this topic comes up constantly in natural conversation, and having the right phrases matters.
If someone asks what you do and you're employed, you might say, I work in finance, or I'm in customer service, or I work for a logistics company.
Notice the prepositions, work in a field, work for a company. Both natural, both common.
If you run your own thing, you might say, I run my own business, or I'm self-employed, or I freelance in design.
Freelance is an interesting word. It means you work independently, usually for multiple clients, without being tied to one employer.
And then there's the growing middle ground, people who have a job and something on the side. In English, we call this a side hustle.
Which sounds informal but is genuinely common. A lot of people build their businesses while keeping their job. It's slower, but it's lower risk.
Don't burn the bridge before you've built the next one.
Exactly. You don't have to choose dramatically. You can move gradually.
Okay, let's say someone is listening right now and they genuinely don't know which direction to go, job or business. What do you actually say to them?
First, don't decide based on someone else's highlight reel. Social media shows you the results of a business, not the 3 years of uncertainty that came before it.
And don't stay in a job just because it's familiar. Familiarity is comfort, not direction.
Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What problem do I actually want to spend my energy solving? 2. What level of financial risk can I genuinely handle, not in theory, in real life? And 3. What does my life actually look like in 5 years if I don't change anything?
That last question is the most honest one. If the answer doesn't scare you, you're probably fine. If the answer makes you uncomfortable, that's information.
And here's something nobody says enough. There is no shame in choosing stability. If you have dependents, if you have responsibilities, if you value consistency, a good, meaningful job is a completely legitimate life.
Man alive, success is not one shape.
But, and this is where again nobody says it, there's also no prize for staying somewhere that's slowly shrinking you. If you feel like you're getting smaller every year, that's also information.
Listen to both, the fear and the gut feeling. They're both trying to tell you something.
All right, before we go, what's your one takeaway from today, Mike?
Mine is that the question job or business is actually the wrong starting point. The real question is, what kind of life do I want and which path gets me closer to it?
I love that. Mine is simpler. Stop waiting for certainty. Certainty doesn't come before the decision. It comes after.
That's actually terrifying and liberating at the same time.
Most true things are.
If this conversation made you think, even a little, that's the whole point. Real Talk English exists so you can practice the language and the ideas that actually matter in life.
Subscribe, share this episode with someone who needs it. Leave us a comment about your own experience, job, business, somewhere in between. We read everything.
Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your direction.
Bye, everyone.
See you soon.